Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Accounts Guru Cool. Learn accounting online. So today we are here with one more content, and in this we are going to discuss about R2R FX revaluations and its impact on the R2R process, practical through SAP demo. So we are going to see from the system itself how you are going to do the calculations of that, how you have to see the open invoices report from the accounts payable, vendor-wise listings from there, how you are able to know that how much is in how much balances you have into foreign currency, on which date, when you are closing your books of account, how it's going to do the calculations for the fluctuations of the foreign currency, how you're going to take the entries in the system. That's everything we are going to discuss in a practical with the help of system. That's a SAP. So request all the viewers to be a part of our membership to get an exclusive benefits from there. You are able to get an scope to ask us to create a content as per your requirement. Very soon we are going to hit 200 plus content related to members only. So you are able to get a scope to access of that. So request all the members to be a part of our membership as early as possible to get an exclusive benefits from there. In addition to that, if you guys are looking for any sort of training related to accounting and finance, either that's going to be your P2P, O2C, R2R, FNA, or any software training, you can connect with us on our email ID accounts.gurukul@yahoo.com for exclusive hands-on training that drives results. So we'll jump towards that systems. We'll jump towards the SAP to know more about that, how that's work, and how we have to do the calculations for that. If you see, this is your SAP screen, and here you have to use the T code for that. And if you want to see the first, your open invoices reports related to the vendors, you have to see the how many invoices opens over there and what's the currency for that, either that's in the foreign currency or in your books of account currency. So you have to see the FBL1N, enter. This is going to be give the vendor line item display, and you want to see for the all the your vendors, so you have to do the company code over here from and to, and this is open items open at key date. If you want to see for any specific date, then you have to add it here, assuming that for 31st Jan 2024, since the configuration is not done for the future for this current FY, so we are using considering the previous date itself. So assuming that this is for the 31st Jan 2024 and you have to execute this report, then you are able to see these are all the vendor line item display for accounts Gurukul Private Limited. These are all the invoices open over there. For IUD for LLP, these invoices open over here. And if you scroll down, then for DDLLP Inc., that's a 40 lakh is over here. That's a software fees. And the total amount in local currency, that's a 47 lakh 60,000 in INR. So you don't have the foreign currency is not able to display here. So what you have to do is that you need to change the layout of that. So you can go here, change layout, and you need to add this amount in doc currency or document currency. You have to click here and copy. Now, if you see here in your entire this balances, 7,60,000 in INR and 50,000 is in USD, and by clubbing both, 47 lakh 60,000 is over there. So now if you see here, 50,000 is in USD and 40 lakh is in the INR. So from here, if you want, and this entry has been posted on the 25th of Jan 2024. Now, if you want to do the entry as on, if you are closing your books of account as on 31st Jan 2024, now, what you have to do is that what's the conversion rate as on 31st Jan 2024? Since this invoice is still open and we have to do the payment for that. So from the accrual concept standpoint and from the R2R standpoint, when we are closing the books of account, when we are closing for that particular month, then we have to ensure the one thing is that as on that date, what's our actual payout in our books of currency. That's in INR, that's in functional currency or local currency. Now, if you see here, 50,000 is in the USD on 25th of Jan 2024. Now, what's the rate used here and what's the rate as on date? So whatever the rate of the conversion as on date, we have to convert this 50,000 by using into that rate in INR. I need to see either that's going to be less or high of this 40 lakh. If it's more than 40 lakh, then we have the unrealized loss. If it's less than that, we have the unrealized gain. Now, if you see here, the entry is depend upon that calculations to know that. And for doing that calculations, we'll jump towards the system to know that what's the rate is used over here. Now, if you see, the entry has been posted on the systems on 25th of Jan 2024. That's a 50,000. Exchange rate is used 80, and that's reason it's 50,000 into 80. That's a 40 lakh. Liability is showing in the books of account. Now, if we are closing the books as on 31st of Jan 2024, that's a 50,000. If you are following any rate from your holding entity, if your holding entity provided you any rate, then you have to refer that for do the closure for that month, or else you need to see from whatever the source your entity is following for that. Just for examples, I'm referring from the Google. And now if you see the rate as on 31st Jan 2024 was 83.1267. If you see here, 83.131267. So I use the same one. And if you convert 50,000 into this rate, then the amount is going to be 41,56,335. And in the books, it's credited and the liability is there for 40 lakh. It means we have to increase our liability to this extent. That means for 1,56,335. So pertaining to that particular DDLLP Inc., we have to show the liability of 41,56,335 instead of 40 lakh. So it means we have to take the entry in the systems for 1,56,335, and that's going to be our unrealized FX loss account is going to debit to our accounts payable account is going to credit. So we have to take this entry in the systems as on 31st of Jan 2024. If you don't have the unrealized FX loss account as a separate, then either it's a FX loss gain account is there, whatever the account you have. So based on that, you need to take the entry for this. If you want to take this entry in the system, now, if you see here, you need to go back. Okay. And FB50, that's going to be used for post the journal entry. We want to take the entry as on 31st Jan 2024. So we are taking this entry as on 31st Jan 2024. Now, just see what account we have in the systems that's related to FX loss is there, but we don't have any FX unrealized loss, and realized loss is not the account in the system. So we are going to refer this. We will use this FX loss itself. And if you are going to use that FX loss, it's going to debit. And how much is the amount over there? 1,56,335. 156,335. You can add here FX loss as on 31st Jan 2020. Okay. Next, if you see here now, if you are going to do the entry for our control accounts, that's a recon account of vendor. If you are going to take this entry, journal entry towards this account, and system is not going to allow to hit you any entry in the GL towards your accounts payable account, which is control account to flow the data from SL to GL. So what you have to do is that you have to create a one more account in the systems for the payables. And in that account, you need to take the entries for the spreadsheet. So here, recon account of vendor, in this, the balance is coming from the SL. So that's reasons we have created the one more account in the system, that's the accounts payable. Or else, when we are using this account, recon account of vendor, and if you allow to take the entries by taking into consideration of that account as well, and then you need to give the vendor's name in the GL as well. But in this demo instance, we haven't added that feature. So we have created the one more account as an accounts payable. This is going to be the credit, and you have to use the same. That's a 156. 335. And when you are going to see the balance from the GL, from the trial balance, so your that recon account of vendor, that's a control account, plus this other liability account related to the vendor's payable, that's accounts payable. So by clubbing of both, you need to see what's the impact over there and what's the total over there, and that you need to match with your SL, and what are the difference in between these two, that's going to be the cause of your SLGL reconciliations. For that also, we are going to create a content. Now you need to see the impact document simulate. This is for the backdate it's showing. Okay, so now if you see the entry, that's the FX loss, that's going to be the debit, and accounts payable, that's going to be the credit. Now you need to just post this entry in the system. So we have posted in this entry in the systems. Now if you see to us the F.01, this is a financial statement and the company code 2022. And if you run this financials reporting version is asking here. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah. Now if you see from this, this is going to be written earning. Okay, for this to this period, and accounts payable balance also is showing absolute difference and a comparison period. Okay, so wait, we use T code F.02. This is for document journal. Okay, now company code 2022 to 2022. Execute this. This is related to this one. 1 minute, huh? F.08. Okay. GL account balances. Company code 2022. Execute this. Now, if you see the accounts payable balance is 2,21,335 is over there. And recon account of your vendor, that's related to recon account of vendors. That's a 47 lakh 60,000. Accumulated balance after debit credit 47 lakh 55. And in accounts payable, it's a credit 2,21,335. And if you see in the FX loss, this 156,335 is there. So that's the way you have to do the entry in the systems related to your FX gain loss. So when you are going to do the entries in the systems, so you have to do the entries towards FX gain loss in that way in the system. So thanks guys for being with us, and you are able to know that how this entry is going to work and how you have to do the calculations, how you have to post these entries in the systems through the practical with SAP. So once again, thanks to all of you for being with us, and request all the members to start to ask us to create the content as per your requirement, as per your need. Thank you.